The investigations are still going on from yesterday's incident. They got to do follow-ups. There's a camera guy over there. There's officers down there. Hi, welcome to Rosie's Way. How are you doing today? I'm gonna, as you're gonna see before and after and during this whole vlog, what it is to experience in real life being in a lockdown. Yeah, it happened. It happened yesterday, and I'm gonna give you footage, and I'm gonna give you the story of being on the third floor, barricaded in a room with your teachers and other students, and praying and hoping to God this will end fast and no one will get hurt. It was terrifying. And even with all my years in the industry of security, whatever it may be, dealing with weapons, dealing with fights, it does not prepare you for the feeling that you get that there might be someone out there looking to hurt someone else intentionally in a closed off environment. Now, yes, outside in the real world, it happens daily, and we have people who will just go out just to hurt people. But when you're in a place that's secure and you feel relaxed, and all of a sudden it's been locked up, locked down, and you just stand there in shock and say, what? 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 You want us to do what? At first you're numb, but then you have to spring into action. And that's what happened yesterday. Get your drink, get your chair, get your nourishment, and come. I'm going to tell you all about it. I forgot to tell you, thanks for coming back. Missed you. Watch, like, subscribe, and share. Share. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, anyways. What happened was, I gotta make light of it because now that we know everybody's okay. There's a few that went to the hospital, but everyone's okay. It might take a few days or weeks to bounce back from it, but we're okay. Thank God. So yesterday, I stayed behind a little bit to get this assignment done. I know I was like, it wasn't for my teacher telling me to stay behind. I just wanted to get it right and correct and inquire from some questions I had for her. And, it was time to go. And the teacher was talking to other students and helping them out and whatnot. And that students that were leaving also. And all of a sudden you hear this kind of crackling on the PA system. All students of blah, blah, blah. It's a lockdown. Lock yourselves. And then it was like, what? Okay. It was gone. I'm like, no, did I just really hear that right? No, nah. Another maybe 30 seconds later, again, all students go into classroom, lockdown. And I looked at my teacher and I'm like, she said lockdown. That was a lockdown. And my teacher's face just went from smiling to what? Okay. And she went into action. And it was the weirdest thing. It was so surreal. So the remaining students that were there, we went into action and we moved desks and we piled what we had to pile and so forth. And we cowered down. We had no choice. We didn't know what took place, why the emergency lockdown. Okay, and then another message came, lockdown, everybody get inside the room, lock it, bar. We were like, okay, fine, we're gonna do that, but what's going on? So we didn't have the information why we were in lockdown yesterday. So we had to stay and just think. And when the devil starts to play with your mind and you're like, okay, what's going on? Is there someone in the hall? Is somebody shot? Is it a shooter? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? And you have to calm yourself down. And for me, I prayed. For some others, it was terrifying and gut-wrenching, and they dealt with it the way they had to deal with it. And the funny thing is, and I have to say funny thing is because while we were in lockdown, other classmates who were in other parts of the building were sending memes to make us laugh and memes to just let us have a sense of humor about it. I know that sounds kind of twisted, but that's how we dealt with it. And we cracked out laughing, but we were supposed to be silent. We're like, we could have had to put our hands over our mouths, and we just tried to make it through, and we did. But it went to show how resilient we are as human beings. I mean, we knew that there was danger out there. We didn't know where it was or if it was going to get in, but we just tried to weather through it. And I texted my daughter and I said, yeah, and she thought I was joking. I said, we're in lockdown, we're in an emergency situation, it's lockdown, we barricaded ourselves in. And she I said to her, no phone calls. What did she do? Immediately, my phone starts ringing off the hook. I had it on silent, but for some reason, my daughter's was red alert and it went loud. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then finally I'm like, do not call me. Just text me. And she's like, okay, I'm coming down. You want me to come down? I'm coming. I'm thinking, no, if you come down here, I will be the one who runs out in the hallway just to protect you. No. Stay where you are. Stay at your school on your campus. And I will text you every so many minutes. And then my phones just started blowing up. She's like, okay, what is going on? So I'm like, I think this is it. And people were sending us pictures from outside. And it was just like, what? No, can't be. No, it's probably, and then I'm telling the story. My daughter went to it was school here, and she said it was terrible, and there's always fights, and I'm like, no. You can't be my new school if this is happening. No. But it was. So, like I said, everything runs through your head of what's going on outside. The SWAT team, the police, the sirens. At first we were like, okay, it's probably just a fight or somebody just threatened, whatever. And then when the director came back on and said, remain in lockdown, the police are on their way, please secure yourselves. We were like, okay, you could kind of hear the tremor in her voice when she was saying this. And it was just like, okay, now how do we take this? So we moved our chairs to the corner, away from the door, and we sat along the wall, and we just talked. We tried to read French books. We tried to crack jokes. We tried to listen. And the creepiest thing was, after we locked down, and we locked the door, and we grabbed two ladies that were out in the hall, and we brought them in and locked the door and secured it. About 15 minutes later, we hear the door handle rattling. And I'm like, nope, this sister ain't going out like that. Nope, not today, Satan, not today. No, it ain't happening. So I was like, And then my boy who was in class, Eugene was just like, no, he had this chair ready. Eugene's Russian and I'm Jamaican. We ain't going out like that. No. So we were ready. And then the rattling of the door handle stopped. And our professor said, oh, maybe it was just them making sure that the doors were locked and secure. I'm like, okay. We'll go with that. So then I go to get my phone charger out of my bag, which is on the other side of the classroom. And I'm tiptoeing away from the doorway. Like I'm doing a whole circle, bent circle to go get my charger. And I hear something out in the hall. Now, we were attached to another a storage room and then another class. But I could hear people talking. So I'm like, okay. And then they went silent. And then I could hear like whispering out in the hall. And I'm like, yes, man, SWAT's here. They're here. They're checking. They're here. We all right. And sure enough, a few minutes later, the director comes on and says, okay, police are here. They're going to secure the building. I'm like, I told you. I knew it. Meanwhile, I'm sweating buckets. And I'm like, woo! Try not to bring the tears. Rose, you've experienced something worse than this. Don't worry, you got this. You're hanging with your teacher and your fellow students. You got this. I was just like, thank you, Jesus. But then we thought it would be done and over soon. No. We were stuck in there for what? An hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half? Sweating buckets. you know, and then one of the announcements was on, oh, you're not in imminent danger. How do you say imminent danger? But we need you to stay locked up and in your classrooms and whatnot. We're like, we're not in danger, but you don't want us to leave to go out because they're still looking for whomever they're looking for. We in danger, straight up. Because you got to think in that mentality. You can't think, oh, I can open this door and walk down the hall, and all of a sudden, no, you got to think, I'm in danger. I'm going to stay my backside on this chair, and I'm not going to move. I'm going to breathe. I won't make too much loud noises, but I ain't leaving this room. You know what I mean? So, finally, after, I guess what's about an hour, we get one of the lady's friends from outside sends her a video and says they've got red tape. And I looked at my professor and I said, what? Red tape? Hold on, wait, hold up, wait. Yellow tape means that somebody's dead and there's an accident and there's a mortality on the scene. Red tape means, and I was just like, nope, not going there. Nope, my mind just went, Phoop. I was like, nope. So I could pull it back. Red tape. Okay, they've got it all cornered off in the radius. Wait a minute, did you say radius? This girl was sending us this text message. I'm like, did she say radius? No, she didn't. She couldn't have. Let me read this again. Let me see. I go ask the lady, and remember, because the communication was low because our language barriers. And I'm saying, she said red tape and she said radius, and they blocked off all of Saint Michel, Villeray. And of course, I go into security mode, and I'm like, right? I kept it quiet. But I looked at my professor and I went, and she just looked at me. And we stayed silent. Because that's all you can do. Why are you going to get everybody upset when we think we know what it is, but why spill it out there so everybody in the room could get more upset? No. So we're like, okay. And then about half an hour after that, they said, okay, everything's secure, but the police are still going through the building to making sure. And I'm like, then everything's not secure. I text my daughter, I'm like, how do they keep saying everything's secure when it says, and I went off and and she's just like, Mom, you got this. Stay in the room, stay down. I'm like, okay. You know, the Jamaican in me came out for a second right there. I was like, they're lying. So I got laughed now. I'm like, they're not telling me the truth. Something's up. So I started making the lady beside me laugh. So I said to her, listen, girl, this is what we're going to do. If the door starts to move and rattle and it's not SWAT, you get on my back. I'm going to take a rope. We're going to make a rope somehow. We're going to make a rope. And then we're going to all the way down out the window. We'll kick out the glass first because there's a screen in the window. And she was killing herself laughing. She's like, Rose, stop. I'm like, no, we got this. Just jump on my back and hold on tight. And I'm going to swoop down until we hit the ground. And then when we hit the ground, we run. And she's like, and she was just like, at least I made her laugh because she was so scared. You know, she was so scared, but she was a sweetheart and she was killing herself laughing. But thank God. The situation got de-escalated, I want to put it that way. And the police team and the SWAT team did an amazing job. But then they made the last announcement. Now listen, I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to making announcements, but when you say everything's okay and you can leave, but you must only leave, the whole school has to leave through one door on one side of the building, on one side of the road, due to the fact they want to make sure that we're not in danger for when we go outside. Okay. All right. So I'm getting out of this building, right? I'm getting out of the building. So we come out, side entrance off from Saint Michel. And you got, now hold up, I gotta say this. When you got undercover police and detectives walking around trying to blend in, right here, saw it right away. As soon as I stepped out the door, I'm like, oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. Oh, there is one right there. And I was like, yes, they're still surrounding us. They're trying to blend in because they must be looking for somebody else. And sure enough, I got home and my church sister sent me this, the video that they arrested 2 after we got released. So, because when we were coming out the door, I saw the detectives kind of looking through the crowd and looking and, you know, doing one of these and then talking to each other. And I was just like, they're still looking for somebody. You know? And as I'm walking down the sidewalk, I said, you guys, what happened out here? And they're like, One guy goes, my brother's still in there. And I go, they're coming out. We're all coming out. They've released us. And you could just see the relief come over his body and his face. He just dropped his shoulders and his head just went. And I said, yeah, man, I get you. I get you. And then you hear people talking about what happened to Laval the day before at that school. I'm telling you, it's something in the atmosphere. It's making us loopy. Because why do we think it's okay to take or threaten or hinder someone else's life and think it's cool or fun? And it's not. It's not. Life is precious no matter how much or what we're going through. Everyone's life is precious. You don't play with it. Period. Period. 1 second. So I've reassured my daughter, my big daughter. I don't call my sons because they literally would have been like, what? But I told my daughter right away, when it first went down, I love you. No matter what happens, do not show up here. That's that guy, Mama Bear right here. So I get home and we're on the bus and students are like, ooh, we're talking about it or trying to communicate, and just the fear and the pain and the hurt that we felt in the place that was secure, and then some little rugrats, and I'm going to call them rugrats, and I'll explain to you why after. Some little rugrats had to ruin it. This area, this Saint Michel Villeray area, it's known for gang violence. It's known, and you've seen some of my other vlogs. My neighborhood alone, a few summers ago, somebody got shanked. They got stabbed. The kid hardly made it. Another kid lost something that he needed in his body. You know what I mean? Another kid got shot. And this is what this area from 20 some years ago was a beautiful area has gotten to. You know, you've got one school for children, problem children. You got another school that's the only English high school in the area, in the 2-town vicinity. You've got dark spots behind the library where drug deals and things that you don't want to know about, things you do not want to know about that go on behind those buildings, and police are always raiding it. You've got promiscuity happening, you've got infidelity happening, you've got drugs, you've got attacks, you've got people getting jumped, you've got breaking and enters, and this is such a beautiful area that has been destroyed by what? People who think it's cool to be an idiot. Makes no sense to me. Or to be idiotic. Makes no sense to me. Now, I told you guys about these little gremlins, these little devil's minions that caused this thing. In the end, it ended up being, I think they're number 7 that they've arrested and pressed charges against. All between the ages of 19 and 15. Yeah, you heard me. 19 and 15? Okay, let me tell you something. As a mother of 4, as a Jamaican woman, as a Jamaican Canadian woman, being raised West Indian style, those little 15-year-olds, why are they finding their backsides in gang fights and knife fights and gun fights? Why? For what reason? So this is where the parents need to step up. 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. You still a child and you still live in my house. So when you get home, I will deal with it. You don't have to worry about the police. You gotta worry about me. You gotta explain to me why my child is causing havoc on the streets and beating up other people and stabbing other people and shooting other people. Tell me. Come and tell your mama why you were involved when I raised you better. Oh, so I didn't raise you better? Now I can fix it. Right? Because why should your child go outside who's gone to school, gotten good grades, tried hard, be worried about getting jumped, be worried about being called a nerd or a geek or not fitting in because some little, we say in Jamaican, tegreg wants to be a thug, a thuggis? No, come on. Come on. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. We need to start raising our children the old school way of respecting another human being, respecting somebody's space. You know, I need 3 feet. Can you? Okay, I got you. Sorry, no disrespect. Or I'm sorry for stepping on your new kicks. Or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. Or I'm sorry. Or don't say it at all if I'm gonna hurt someone. But to jump and to fight in a gang, to shank somebody, why? You in prison? No, but now you're gonna be in prison. Because you were foolish enough to pull something and shank somebody and hurt somebody else. So now, don't think about it. Think about it. Because you're 15, 16, you don't think you can go to jail. You're right. But you can go to juvie hall. You can go to juvie prison. And you know what? Trust me, you do not want to wind up there. The things that can happen to you when you sleep. Think about other people. Think about other people enjoying and loving their life. You got a beef? Talk it out, scream it out. Don't get 15 or 20 of your other friends to jump somebody or to shank somebody. It's stupid. And if you're that tough, fist it out. You understand? One-on-one. No one interfere. And when the police come, you tell them the truth. We had a beef. We decided to do one-on-one. Yes, you might get arrested, but they'll take you down and no one's gotten cut. No one's dead. No one's close to death. You might have a few bruises and some bloody ankles or bloody, because you gotta get you gotta get the bite on the ankle. Sorry, I went there. You might have that, but you're alive and no one else is hurt. And the only thing that hurt is what you think afterwards and say, how stupid was I? I should have walked away. I should have walked away. I'm not your mother, whoever's watching this. I'm not your mother, but I am a mom. And as an adult, to feel what we felt yesterday when we got in lockdown, I don't ever want to feel that way again. And I know I wouldn't want my child or your child to feel what we felt yesterday. You need to start making a change in your home with your children and how you raise them. I'm not telling you to abuse your children, but I'm telling you, when they start acting like they're grown, you show them that they're not by using your words and using the disciplinary act that you need to save their lives or to keep them out of juvie hall or better yet, prison. Remember that when they go roam in the streets and they think they're bad or they try to manhandle you in your home, step up. Step up and let them know, God's got me, but now I got you. So deal with this. Don't ever put another individual or another family through what we went through yesterday. No, man. No.